Hi everyone, it's Nono here and I want to welcome you to the Nono.MA live stream. We're gonna get started really soon, so hold on and I'll be back right in a second. Cool. All right, the first thing I'll ask from you is to let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me okay, and we're gonna get started. So we have missed 1 week. This is live stream 26, and I want to say hello for anyone who's new, who's never watched before. This is a live stream where we do creative coding, machine learning, art, design, workflow optimization. We look at how to edit sketches, podcasts, how to do creative things, and hopefully learn on the way. So I reserve these couple of hours every week to do machine learning and to tinker with different technologies. I see Garcia El Castillo, Jose Luis connected online. Hello, nice to see some familiar faces. And yeah, so let's get started. Today, well, I'll remind you that the best way to support the stream is to like this video and to subscribe if you want to get notified when I upload new videos or when I go live next. You can also join us on Discord. There is an invite ready for you at Nono.MA/Discord, and you can join minds alike yours, alike mine, and you can connect with me and with a lot of other people who are already in the community. Last live stream was March 25th. We covered a few more things on StyleGAN, how to generate images, synthetic images. We tried to understand a bit more how that works, and we also saw how to load GitHub notebooks or notebooks that we've uploaded. These are Jupyter notebooks that we have uploaded into GitHub, or we have in a GitHub repo, or somebody else has open sourced on GitHub in Google Colab. That's a really handy trick to be able to quickly execute a notebook online that we have on a GitHub repo. And hello Sajed, nice to see you online again. And yeah, so a reminder, the last episode released for Getting Simple is called Looping Playlists in the Habit series, and is a practice to focus by listening to the same songs on repeat. This is something that I do often and I wanted to share with you. Some other announcements are that I've started the Bytes series with Sis Barbar. He's producing the first episode or the first 2 episodes, and we'll hopefully be releasing soon. And this is Bytes with BYTES. That stands for small bites of content, and also for bytes, the unit of digital storage, which kind of reflects that aesthetic of the digital world. All right, so what are we doing today? I have to say, honestly, I'm not too sure. I'm just here in front of the screen. We're gonna try to tinker with different things. I had here 3 different categories: workflows, a recap of the live stream, and ML5JS. Workflows has to do a bit with what I mention often about workflow optimization, or some hacks or some tricks that I often do. Live recap would be looking at what we've done so far and trying to see what videos would make most sense to release as individual YouTube videos in the near future. And ML5JS is the JavaScript library that lets you do machine learning on the web in a really abstracted and easy to use way, user-friendly way. So I would ask for whoever joins the live stream, whoever is online already, what topics would you be interested in covering in the next weeks? And for me, I'm going to get started now. So let's see. So we have, and last reminder is that we have an open URL at gettingsimple.com/ask, where you can send questions. You can submit a question, a voice note to the podcast about the topics that we cover on the podcast, and I'll be gladly to answer it online. I'd love to hear from you. All right, so we have here workflows, which, this is the section headers. I don't really know what we're gonna do, but we're gonna start coding and taking a look at things. All right, so let's leave this break slide here in case we take a break, and take a look at what we've done so far. I haven't been great at managing. Well, I have a new background here. This is kind of the Croquetillo artist illustration, and here what I was saying is that I haven't done a great job maintaining the list of things that we were going to do in the future, right? Like scheduling things for the live stream. We see that live 24 and 25th are missing here. So the first thing with workflows, I'll add it here as to keep it. So I've done, let me see, this is kind of a new section that I'm interested in covering. So let's see. Right. Hi everyone, it's Nono here, and we're gonna take a look at a few workflows that I use when I use my computer that hopefully make me more efficient or faster doing common things that I do on a daily basis. The first thing that I want to show today is the redirect URL. So this is something that I did recently, and it's a really simple trick. So this is just a web route. Technically it doesn't really matter how it's done, but I can show it. If you go to Nono.MA /redirect and write a website, so let's say that we want to go to Google, right? And now I'm going to go back, I'm going to execute this thing, and you see that there's like 5 seconds. I'm not going to let it go, but 5 seconds that I'm refreshing. So 5 seconds for me to see that I will go to Google, right? So this is a redirect. I think I can put here a time. Let's put 100. Yeah. So, and you can also pass, you can pass 2 parameters to this URL. The parameter 2, that's a variable, and then T for time, like on YouTube. And whatever time you put. So for example, if I put 999, it starts the countdown at 9999. And why did I build this, right? So let's zoom into here so you can see it a bit bigger. If I just load this, for example, with 10 seconds, right? Let's open a new page. I have the option to click escape, right? So I click escape, and then this tells me I'm free, and then I can continue and go back to work. So this I've created as a facade or as interstitial page for things that are common distractions for me. So I have a shortcut on letter T, right? So if, for example, I type letter T or letter F or letter L or LK, different things bring me to different platforms. These are shortcuts that I build with the search engines panel on Google Chrome, right? So for example, if I were to add here Google, I don't know, like I can put letter, so GO or something, and I could put here google.com and then maybe a query test live stream, right? So now if I write here go, you can see that the title that I put gets shown up here, so it's Google. And if I open that, I open this test live stream, a query parameter that I put in there, right? So I could edit that once again. So Google here, Google test search, for instance, and we can put here something. And then when I put go, you see go test search, and I open and I get that here, right? So this is just like creating shortcuts, and I could also test search, right? So I could also add a parameter. So I could add a parameter here where by putting here this character, so for example, we could say search, and we just put here Google search. This is going to be replaced by whatever I write after I activate this search engine that I'm creating. So for example, I do write go, this shows up. Now I press enter, well, go, I press, wait 1 second, so this is already open, so I press go. All right, maybe I didn't save. Okay, so the keyword now is search, not go. So I go and do search, you see, and now this is showing up here because of the URL on my action or my engine, and I can press space, you know, I can press a space and then search Google search is activated, or I can press tab, right? It's a bit redundant because this is search Google search, and it doesn't, you know, Google search, this last part is what I wrote as the name of the search engine, and I can do here now Nono.MA, for instance, right? So I press enter, and now you can see on the URL the query part that was like this on my search engine is being expanded to my query, and that's what's shown here. So now I can do search space another test, search space live stream, right? So that's parameterizing the search bar, and we're creating custom search engines. This doesn't make a lot of sense because we already have a search bar here. So if I do another test, normally it will already search. But for example, if you see on my site, I have here, I think you do search tag code or something, you get all the posts with the code tag, right? So I could convert this into a search engine if I do this, and I now go to manage search engines, I add one new Nono.MA tag, and I do this here, and the keyword is tag, for instance, right? So, or maybe TA, doesn't matter. So I do TA, that is now a tab, so I get search Nono.MA tag, and now I do here, for example, interview, right? So when I press enter, I get this expanded to Nono.MA, says tag interview, and whatever I've tagged with interview will show up here, right? So that's creating a custom search engine, and I kind of diverted a bit, so I'm gonna remove this, and now we understand what's going on there, right? So if I now click on T, it tries to bring me to Twitter in 5 seconds. I can escape. And the entire purpose of this is kind of like a hack. So I have all these commands to analytics sites, and to, for example, G goes to Gmail, T goes to Twitter, F goes to Facebook, and for example, YouTube goes to YouTube. And in this case, I have put the shortcuts to these URLs. And what this prevents me is from clicking, I want to go to YouTube, and this gives me some time to think, okay, I actually have some other work to do that I'm focusing on, so I press escape, and then I go back to work. And as opposed to opening the URL directly, not having these seconds to think, and then finding yourself inside of the distraction already. So how this works in my site, you can actually use it for your own good. So you just have to put Nono.MA/redirect question mark 2. This is a parameter. This is the URL you want to go to, and so the ampersand, and then the time you want this to wait. If you leave this blank, so you don't put anything, it will be 5 seconds, right? Let me escape here. So let's try that again. So if I leave this as empty, this is 5 seconds, right? But if I put T and put either 5 seconds or 15 seconds or whatever, it will start the countdown there. And, you know, if I just do the default, so with 5 seconds, after it finishes, it's just going to redirect me to that site. So we can do, for instance, we're going to go to, okay, I'll do this in incognito mode. So I go, for example, to Twitter, right? So it's now waiting for 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go. And then you get redirected to the desired website. Might be a silly trick or not, but it's working for me. At least it's making me think, okay, do I really want to go to Gmail? And then I press escape and I go. So that's trick number 1. So that's what we covered. So a bit of workflows. So redirects. And the only thing that maybe could be productive for me to do is if I open here and go to Nono.MA source code, and we take a look at how that is implemented. So I'm gonna go to the routes. This is Laravel. So we have there is a live stream video again, right? I'm trying to go to my YouTube channel. I can also click here and then it takes me straight away. And yeah, we're live. And if you go to the live streams, so let's move this to the top. I think there is a live stream video web. Yeah, so intro, this one. So hands-on coding intro to Laravel web framework, Blur.js. All right, so yeah, and this is for Laravel. Where is what? So Jose Luis, I'm seeing your question. Where do you? What are you saying that it should read as milliseconds? This one? All right, so I was showing, while Jose Luis answers my question, so I was showing here that there is a livestream 14, has some intro to what Laravel is, and I'm gonna show the code for what this is actually, how this is actually working. So yeah, so here we have a route, right? So let me see where this is. Where is this? Maybe I don't have the latest. Let's pull. Yeah, no worries. So let me show you how this is actually done. So the actual implementation is fairly simple. All right, so we actually downloaded that and some changes to the web. All right, so here it is. So all we have here is a Laravel route. So we're telling, okay, every time you get a request at the, like a GET request at the redirect route, let me just put this here. All right, at the redirect route, we're going to handle that with a function. So this is PHP. Some of you might not love it, but this is what Laravel is. And you check first whether the request contains the to parameter. If it's empty, we just redirect to Nono.MA, so to the home page. And if it does, right, like if we pass this if statement, we're going to render the redirect page view. We're going to pass the link argument as getting the value of the to argument on the URL, and we're going to pass the seconds argument getting the t parameter on the URL. And if it doesn't exist, here we fall back to 5, right? So we grab this parameter, and if it's empty, we fall back to 5. This is a modern kind of syntax, which is really nice. So you don't have to do if and else statements. And, you know, we could also do this, like we could do like for example, E equals, so A equals A, and then we could say if that happens, we return 5. And if it doesn't, we return 10 or something like that. But this is like either or. And so we have this link and seconds variable that gets piped into the view. And if we look at the view itself, I'm cleaning the link, so I'm removing the www, http, or https. I'm just emptying it, that variable. I'm rendering an HTML document which gets the CSS from the Folio install, puts a title with the clean link on the URL, so you can see here, right? So we can get the context of the website we're trying to go to. So for example, if I were to put Twitter, it's actually going to Twitter notifications, and so on and so forth. And here, right, I just have some CSS, and I have a div that just shows the link in case we want to click. So we could click here and go directly to the website. And we have some JavaScript. So we have a handler with mousetrap for the escape key, which we just display the your free text and wait half a second to close the window. And then here we just have a timer that yeah, so it schedules the a timeout, and every time this interval is this, I don't really know if this works, but what this does is that there is a ticker, and every second it will increase the value of our time and just put that into this timer or like component, HTML component. So yeah, that's it. I don't think there's anything else here, but that's the trick, and that's how you can do it. So you don't really, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing here, but yeah. So that's the trick, and that's how you can do it. There is some stuff that is changed here, but probably nothing from today. All right, so with that, we're done with the first section. This is too many seconds probably to wait. It would make more sense to put something like 8 seconds or something. And then after we count down, we will go to the website. Cool. All right. Any questions? Just put it on the chat or let me know. And let's keep moving. Right. So that's a kind of like a getting simple hack or something like that. So that's to simplify a bit your daily routine. If you have shortcuts that are too quick, those are a barrier for that. I also have, that's a bit dangerous because it might cut my connection, so I'm not gonna do it right now, but I also use freedom.to. This is, I got a lifetime subscription some time ago, and this lets you block websites at certain times of the day. So that way we'll block social media or email or other things at specific periods, or you can on demand request maybe for like 30 minutes of focus or an hour of focus. There is like a desktop app, a phone app, and a Chrome extension as well. All right. What else can we do? Figlet. So now that, maybe we can show Figlet what it is here. I wanted to show it briefly on the live stream as well. So I'm going to put a slide here as well. I believe Jose Luis showed me this. I'm not really sure. Hi everyone, it's Nono here, and I'm briefly show you what Figlet is and how we can use it to create really cool ASCII art for embedding it maybe on your code or just to put it on plain text documents. All right, so, all right. All right, so Figlet. What is Figlet? If I have it installed here, maybe it is Figlet. Not here. All right. So maybe I wanna add it into my brew file. All right, so if you don't have Figlet on your machine, as I do, you would do brew install Figlet, at least on Mac, and you would, your computer will install Figlet locally, so it will download the what's called the bottle, and then brew will install that on your machine. And with Figlet, we can do something that is called ASCII art, or writing with like typefaces with plain text. And we're gonna go see it in a second. All right. So now we should have Figlet. We open a new window. All right, Figlet. Okay. Well, we have Figlet now. I think we need to run a command, and you would simply, I think, do something like Figlet live, right? And this writes the text on the screen, right? So we can do here, so Figlet Nono.MA, right? So we can do many different things. We can just write, and there are options, illegal options. Yeah, so output width, smash mode, font file, font directory, blah blah blah, info code. There are many things, but I just have a helper command. So there's this ANSI shadow font that I have, and if I remove the PB copy part, I can put here test, and the file is not there. All right, so let's try again. Let's see where that file has gone. Fonts Figlet and C shadow fonts Figlet. I think this is the same thing. All right. Okay, so Dropbox is deactivated, so that file is just a placeholder, but that should actually work. So I'm just gonna quickly synchronize with my Dropbox, and that file should be available. All right, so that's available now. So we're gonna deactivate Dropbox again, and we'll just run the same command, test. All right, so this I believe is one of the fonts that Jose Luis likes. This is Figlet, and now we can, I have this thing where I can do Figlet, I get this autocomplete, and I can put something, and then it just writes it like that. And this is really nice because what I have is, with the Figlet type expansion, I can copy something like the I don't know, like let's say functions, right? So I do that, and the PB copy command is actually copying it to my clipboard. And now I could, for example, do a file here on the desktop, paste that, and if I edit that, you can see that here, right? So it's really easy now to maybe say, okay, I'm gonna save this into, for example, let's say we're doing like a script in Python, and now we could do something like this and leave that as a comment, right? So now here we could say add our functions or something, right? So that's pretty nice. I mean, it's pretty cool. With Visual Studio Code, you can see I'm selecting all the lines, pressing Shift Alt I, and then we could even do something like this, maybe even removing a couple of letters, funcs, right? And that's it. So this is Figlet, and we could go to the web, so we could go into a new browser. So Figlet fonts FTF, is it FTF? Figlet hosted by PLG. Let's see, what are we using? So Figlet FLF, all right. right? So you have here the fonts. So these are the fonts that, or this is a font file, so Figlet fonts, and you have many here. And you know, I guess you would have to go and take a look and find the ones that you like. Let's take a look at Figlet fonts. Let's maybe see if there is a way to preview them all. Font directory. Yeah, maybe hosted by Fig examples. Okay, so yeah, this shows some fonts here. Let me zoom in a bit and maybe go to the right. And okay, while we're here, I like this background. I'm gonna read a question by Sajay on the chat. So really quickly, I'll bring it here. I have a broader question for you about the practice of writing good code. It never occurs to me to have small details like your redirect option. My codes are simpler and with limited functionality. And I spend a lot of time debugging because I did not account for some data type or conversion. Do you follow a checklist when it comes to writing good code? Well, I mean, one of the things that I try to do is, learn best practices, like look at best practices and guides. So for example, even if you look at the New York Times JavaScript style guide or Objective-C style guide. So even inside of the New York Times, they have all these coding style guides, which is just a convention of the style that the New York Times people who are developing there want to follow. And they tell you examples like, oh, for example, do this, but don't do this, right? I think so. This is Objective-C, right? And this is the old syntax. This is something that looks more like Swift, right? So they want to do that and not the other. And they have that for everything. For example, this, not this or that, right? So it's a stylistic guide. And this is a good way, like maybe to adhere to a set of stylistic guides for any language that you're using would be good. And then the other thing is that there is something called linters. And, this is a static code analysis tool used to flag programming errors, bugs, stylistic errors, and suspicious constructs. Linters that you can use directly inside of Visual Studio Code, for instance. You install them through the extensions here. Where are the extensions here? And as you can see, I think I do have Python, right? So the Python one brings with the linting and debugging. And this linting function, what it does is, let's say we, for example, we put this here and we save. Now I can run here a format document, right? Function. So you can see here, I'm right clicking, or you could run this shortcut. And when I click, formatter autopay is not installed. Okay, so let me move myself now that we're talking about writing good code. Great. So what you can see here is the autopep 8. This is the auto formatter is not installed. So I could say use black, use Yapov or whatever, and say, okay, let's actually install that one. So this is gonna install it for me, and then when it's installed, that's done. And now I should be able to format the document again, right? So look what's happened, right? We were here, and now when we format, we are here. Why? Because the linter or the formatter has a convention that means, okay, leave 2 line breaks between each function definition. So if I were to put here subtract, for instance, a and b, and make another function, when I right click here and format the document, that's gonna add that here. If we had a linter in place, I don't really know if the linter is active or not right now. What would happen here is that will tell us, okay, this is not good because you have 3 functions that have the same name, right? There are other things that the linter can do. So for example, if I'm defining a variable here, I could do something like this, and then I do format, and not only separates but also removes the errors between these things. So if a equals 4, print hello a, or maybe something like number is a, right? So I can link this also, and now it it leaves only one space and it removes this empty space here. So yeah, that would be one way to write good code, let's say. I don't really have a checklist, I just kind of try to adhere to conventions, but it's also good to use these sort of linkers because they make sure that whatever convention you're using, it's consistent throughout the document or the project. And you can click here on format document with. We will be prompted here by the default formatter or Python, and that's it. And I think configure default formatter for Python. We can use, let me see. Select linter, right? So I can click on Command Shift P. I can put this here, and I can select linter. So you can search for it. Select linter, for instance. Click here, and now we have some options. And we're going to use, for example, I don't know, let's say Bandit. And when I format, I think that changes our formatter, right? Open UI settings. Do we have anything for linting? Extensions. So I'm here on the settings, extensions, Python, and there are some options here. You see formatting, autopep, but you could use black. Formatting black arguments. Modifying version, path to autopep path. Okay, autopep path. But we could change, yeah, formatting path black. All right, let's see if we can do format document with second default formatter for Python. Okay, let's do black. Can we do that? Yeah, I don't really know how to do that right now, but yeah, you could configure different formatters, and that way you could do that. Where were we before we started talking about this? I think we were here. So these are fonts, and for instance, this is cool. This is like isometric, isometric 4, 3, and which one are we gonna try? Maybe isometric 1. So let's see if that file is available here. Isometric, yeah. So as easy as downloading the raw file. So we save this thing here. We put it on whatever folder you have your Figlet fonts. I don't know if this will let me save directly. Settings, fonts, Figlet, isometric. All right, so I copy the name of this font, and just by writing here, let's close this and minimize that. We have these two files here, and I'll do, for example, Figlet. I'll just replace the name of the font. And say J. Ooh. Right. Yeah, and I don't know why, but it doesn't seem like this one has numbers, right? Yep, no numbers. yeah, so that's it. We can write whatever here in machine learning series. Thanks. Yeah, so I'm glad that that sounds like something that might be good to look at. So this is Figlet. This is how to create this ASCII fonts for your code to format. And now we're gonna, well, maybe we leave this in our files. So we'll put it on live, make there 0026, CD. Now move everything on the desktop. That is text. Well, right. And this is live 26. All right. Cool. Well, I want to remind you also that you can join the Discord community and you can write on that chat as well if you want, or you can just write on the YouTube chat. Okay, now let's try to preview that on GitHub. So we have this live repo here. So if I open 26, you can see, this would be a sample Python file auto-formatted. This is wrong, I didn't run it properly. And or maybe I did. Maybe it's just leaving one space between lines of code, but two with functions. And we have this thing here. And if you just go into a normal text file, then that renders differently. All right. What else are we gonna do today? So we looked at Figlet. We also looked at code, style guides, formatter, and linters. And is there anything else? Well, we talked about Typinator some live streams ago. Scroobly, I don't know, I think I've shown this live. Text and flow, model export, TypeScript example. What else did we have for today on the slides? Live recap. All right. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what I want to do for the live recap. Well, you have a set of fonts here. So this is, let me put this on the Discord server. So this is gonna be let me see. All right, so it would be links for live 26, and we have Figlet font files, FLF. We have Figlet font preview, that is this link here, and we have 026. We have these samples, Figlet generated samples. Right, so that's on the Discord channel, or the chat of this live stream. All right, what else are we doing today? Restore chat. Jordan Gray, hello Jordan. So is this the Jordan Gray that I know? Let me see. I do know a Jordan Gray in the US, but I don't know if it's you. If you do, you want to tell us where you're connecting from and how you found us, Jordan? All right. What else are we doing today? A recap. So, we've been doing. I have many different interests of the things that we could be doing. I think the section of workflows and how I do things is one that I'm really interested on like sharing how I do things, how I Okay, so then hello, really nice to see you around. And all right, so one thing that we could do is briefly take a look at all of the things that we've covered. This is kind of a recap. Maybe that gives us some ideas on what we could do in future videos. And yeah, so let me see. So we started being a bit more Python focused, so more coding, hard coding, and like Python environments and how to do these setups locally. We started using notebooks early, and we recorded things for like a machine learning series video tutorials, something that designers and people who want to learn how to code and developers could start using. There's a bunch of things here. I should probably share this document publicly, something that I haven't done yet. I have a free account on Notion, so I don't think I can share with more than 5 people. On livestream 3, well, one thing, okay, so like a little announcement, something I did behind the scenes. If you go to your browser, any live stream that I mentioned, so for example, live 3 or live 25 or 14, if you do live stream 3, like Nono.MA/live/3, we have short URLs for all of the videos now. So this is Nono.MA/live/3, and it takes me to, as you can expect, live number 3. This one is about suggestive drawing, so it's October 22nd, and you can do that for any video that you want. So if I refer to like the style gun live 18, so Nono.MA/live/18, and that gets you to the right video. Yes, all right. So we saw suggestive drawing. This is something a project I've been sharing lately, but there's some extra content here that I hadn't shown before. There's some content that I had archived, and the intent of this series of videos was to introduce the project, but also to continue developing it, right? So one of the main things that I would be interested in, I think we have it here, is defining the data sets that we had. If we can maybe open source those or put them in some way where you can play with them. I think I already put some online before. Seeing what the machine learning models were actually doing and what the client application and the server were doing. I have prototyped, I think I got back the Heroku application server that was running behind the scenes. So this is something, I'll write it down, so I need to fix that. But I had a setup with which we could use a similar system of suggestive drawing. I've been playing with the WebSocket backend and using it for some other things. And the idea was to port that into a React web app that we can use to interact with this same platform. And some challenges were around replicating the process of sending an input, getting the output from the bot, and cropping that suggestion to like an alpha mask, right? This is a process that I think I have shown here. So let me see where it is, so I don't spend too much time. Suggestive drawing archive. And I think this URL is restricted to me. Yeah, exactly. So let me just put something here. So I don't know if you're still there, Jordan. I'd be really happy to hear if you want to comment on what have you been working on. What are you tinkering with these days? We have an long overdue catch up that we have to do. All right. So I was mentioning here. Where is this? All right. Yeah, here. So there is a process, there is a moment in time in which let me see, yeah. So what you have here on the left it's a hand sketched thing on the iPad, right? So I sketched that on the iPad or in some application, and then this rasterized set of strokes gets converted into this black and white alpha mask. So this is telling the system that whatever it's black in this case is going to be what we keep, and whatever is white is what we don't keep. I mean, we really invert the layer because an alpha mask works with, the whites are actually the things that you keep normally, and the blacks are the things that you don't keep. So in this image, right, from this input, we get this output. And then with this alpha mask inverted, we get this output, right? So this in-between process is not seen, the user doesn't see it on the application, but it's what's actually happening, and it's what's allowing us to get this really, really nice result. So the user, when they do those strokes painting, they're doing the manual labor of defining how to cut the image as if we were cutting with scissors, right? And this is another example. We don't have the alpha mask here, but it's done behind the scenes, and these are some of the other tests, right? What was really cool is that we were getting different outputs with the same input from different models. This is really cool. It really reminds me of Van Gogh paintings with that blue background. And yeah, so here we have a few more things of these models. This was a failed attempt at using watercolors with that, and this is an animation. So we got that one. Yeah, so that's just some archived content that I wanted to show. Lots of rendering animations and videography. Yeah, if you want to share something, I can open it here on the live stream, or maybe you can share with me later, whatever you prefer. I'm sure that it's really nice. All right, so this is here. So this is the live stream. What is Pix2Pix? We've got integrate lens, trying to understand Pix2Pix on live stream 4. Okay, so one thing, I'm gonna open a different window so we take some notes. So live 26, it's at the end. So later, suggestive drawing, we're going to boilerplate React app. So React application, boilerplate or scaffolding, scaffold, drawing canvas, alpha mask, request prediction. And we'll see how to serve, so backend, serve Pix2Pix model, which could be Runway or TensorFlow.js Pix2Pix model. This is a challenge. I've never been able to do this properly yet, even though a lot of people have doing it, but I haven't done it myself yet. I would like to be on a backend, I think, or maybe on like a REST API outside. All right, so we'll leave that there so we know in the future what we can do. Deep cognition, I don't really even remember what this is that we looked at. Real results. Hyperparameter tuning. Yeah, I don't think I've ever used this. I showed this, but I have never used it yet. Live 5, what are TF records? We did see this. We haven't used it a lot. It's a bit technical. Live 6, contents, fast AI library, StyleGAN training notebook. Yeah, it took us a while to actually train StyleGAN here because, yeah, we didn't really have it that simplified. With the Q&A, I think this was live, maybe. Yeah, I think we recorded this live. So yeah, that's another format that I've played with. So for example, in live, was it 7? Yeah, so live number 7. Yeah, here we were recording Getting Simple podcast live that then made it into the podcast. So that one is here. So this episode is on the website, is released on the podcast. Okay, as a shout out also, like I mentioned, I would like to do, I'm gonna zoom in here a bit. The layout is gonna break, but it doesn't matter, right? Yeah, so you can see here there is a player on the bottom. So we have this web player that I've hand coded, right? It's like HTML5 and JavaScript. And we now have some more controls. So we have the display button that would play the episode. We can also skip forward, skip backwards, right? We have a time count here. And we have here the control. So we can get the episode as an MP3 file. So you can right click and save as, or if you click, it will open as an MP3 file. You can move to a specific time on the podcast with this timeline. And you can also change between different speed rates for playing. So half, normal, 1.5, and double speed, which is pretty cool. We don't have volume yet or transcriptions, but we will. I think that's really close. We've been transcribing all of the episodes of the podcast so far, and you can see that on the YouTube videos. There's like closed captions, and also on the Instagram videos. But it will be here really soon. So I expect to have that on the website also really soon. But I'm pretty happy of the player. And I also have implemented PodTrack, which is a way to track podcast analytics directly from the downloads and requests of the MP3 audio files. All right, so that would go into here. So workflows, getting simple player improvements, and PodTrack. We've seen, so we're doing like a live recap, and we've seen a bit of, so live 3, suggestive drawing next steps, live 7, which was getting simple recording live, which we could probably do in the future. Hello, Major. I see some familiar faces connecting. How have you been? I always take this chance. Major Mystery, it has the engineering architecture channel on YouTube. We've seen it a couple times already. I don't know how to get to it right now. Nope. And hi, Bea. A lot of familiar faces today. All right, I don't know where to get to this channel, but we can probably just go to Discord and open the share channel and click on some of the videos. So we'll open this one, for instance. All right, yeah, so this is Major, and he's publishing a lot of videos. I need to catch up, but I've skimmed through some of them, and they're pretty good. They're like, they cover papers, machine learning papers, and many interesting topics in depth, and I think you should take a look. So it's definitely a good resource. He's creating really good material. All right, so yeah, you should work on SEO. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, maybe, yeah, it's hard, right? I don't know if putting engineering architecture, it does seem to Google like a typo. So maybe search instead for engineering architecture. Yeah, so maybe putting something slightly different there that might differentiate the search would be good. And all right, what else do we have here today? Let's keep reviewing the live stream to see what we've done so far. Live 8, custom TensorFlow and modern SageMaker. We have a few videos on how to train in SageMaker. I've been doing that, and it's really good. It's a bit pricey compared to training locally if you have a computer, but if you don't have hardware, or if you want to train multiple models in parallel, it's really good. We also saw what PyTorch is. We recorded these tutorials, TensorFlow JS on Live 9, convert a safe model to TensorFlow JS and demos. Did we do this? This is something I'm really interested in, and I don't know if we can do this with the Pix2Pix models. Put the TensorFlow graph into TensorFlow, frozen the model. Yeah, we saw how to convert models. For simple ones, it's easy, but for advanced models like Pix2Pix, it might be a bit challenging. This is something we could take a look at. So demos, what are the demos? Okay, yeah, so these are TensorFlow JS demo. Yeah, the lecture was really good. I mean, at least I'm happy with it. I think there was an interesting discussion, and well, I'm referring to a talk that I did at Jose Luis Garcia del Castillo's class in active design. So I've been sharing some of my personal projects there, and we also had a discussion after the class, and hopefully we'll be packing that as a podcast episode and sharing it with the community, sharing it as a video here as well. So we did some recording, of course, of that, and we'll be sharing it online. Thanks for asking, Mayor. And we also have an incoming episode with Luis Ruiz on the podcast. It's the first time that we record a video, and Daniel Natoli, the film director of Sisyphus. So if you go to gettingsimple.com/Sisyphus, you can watch the short film that we did and released in 2019. Well, publicly, I think, I don't remember when we released. There is no, I don't know if you can hear anything. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not gonna play it now, but yeah, so this is a short film. It's online. You can watch it on my channel. He's the director, and you can watch it at Sisyphus. So gettingsimple.com/Sisyphus. And there's some information about where it's played and why we did it, and also making of podcast episodes. So we to get an interview with Danny in a way that he could explain the inner thoughts on or why he did it the way he did it, and why we chose these locations and how it went. How do you manage to get so many awesome people on your podcast? There's a question from Major. Well, I mean, I have to say, for me at least, I do consider some of the people that are on the podcast are awesome. It takes a lot of work, and I mean, you're also getting really nice people into your videos. So it's just asking and meeting people. Many of them are friends or people that I met throughout different years. And yeah, I guess it just takes to get to know a person to realize that they have something to share with the world and want to put them into the podcast. I think also formalizing the project. So if you look at the project from the beginning, it was really almost only friends at the beginning, only people I knew closely. And then I started, for example, Ian Keo was the first person that I sort of didn't know that much that came into the project and I interviewed. There are more friends here. Ben Fry also is a friend of a friend, Jose Luis, and other people. But yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't say many are colleagues from work and people I met in Boston or throughout the world. But yeah, there is no big secret. I'm just like trying to get to know more people and connect with people that are interested in things that are similar to what I'm interested about, or people that I think I can learn from. So yeah, thanks for the comments. And what else? Let's keep looking here. So TensorFlow JS, I'm gonna add this to our intentions of like future things to do. So we have here Lobe. Yeah, so Lobe, maybe TensorFlow JS. We put this here. So Lobe, TensorFlow JS model export TypeScript example. We're gonna move this above because I'm really interested on these things. Embroidery. Yeah, so this is sort of a spoiler because I want to show this a bit better in the future. And and this is, where is this videos? Where are my slides? Yeah, so this is, not gonna show this right now, but this is the talk that I've been preparing, I've been giving, and I just wanted to show some of the experiments that says there, and we saw with the yeah, right. So yeah, so this is so I have a presentation that I called drawing with constraints, that kind of summarizes many of the projects that I've been doing over the past years. And one of the projects, well, a part of showing the three main projects, right, that I'm doing right now, that is the live stream, the podcast that we've been talking about now, and the project with the sketches and writing. There is this new project that I have been doing that has to do with embroidering, right? And I want to show more of this in the future, not now, but as a spoiler or like a teaser, these are some of the things that you can do when embroidering with an automated machine, right? And what else is here? And yeah, we could see some more of these projects, but most of the things that are here you have seen in the past. So I also highlighted many of the people that have a lot to do with this live stream and the work that I do, and that have taught me a lot, and I've learned a lot from interviewing. And this is always open for you to submit a question, so feel free to submit a question at gettingsimple.com. Ask if you have something to ask about the podcast. I would really love to have some prompts for me to record new episodes. All right, so I'm gonna actually copy this slide here that I saw is out of date. All right, and I see that we've covered 1.5 of these two things. I also see Major's comment here. You have a good relationship with your podcast guests. It shows on your episodes. But yeah, I mean, I try to, at least with most of them, I try to take the chance to meet them personally a bit before I go and interview them. I think that's really important, because otherwise, it feels a bit disconnected. And you can tell from the people that I have less confidence with, or like less relationship with, you can tell that it's more like asking questions than a conversation. But you can always try. All right, so let's continue. Let's keep going. So we have this here. All right, this out. Teachable machine. So we've done a lot with teachable machine, and I think it's a great tool for people to start learning what machine learning is and what image classification is. At least if you use this image project, we've seen, again, I'll point to live number 9, so we can do Nono.MA /live/9, and that covers how to do many of the things that I'm talking about, right? So we recap on live 16, highlight, teachable machine. All right, Electron interactive application. We didn't really get anywhere there. We just tried it and ran some examples. I do really want to get back at coding in React. I'm gonna start doing really soon. We're not going to get into that today, but we will really soon. Blur.js, Live 10, we did see that. A bit more teachable machine, Live 11, last week's recap. All right. Okay, for those of you who are online, for if there's anyone who hasn't talked on the chat, I would really appreciate if you feel comfortable talking, and if you want to share with us anything that you appreciate from the live stream or that you would like to see, or just let us know where you're connecting from and how you found us. Another thing I wanted to ask, this is the new look and feel of the live stream. And I wanted to know from, we have this cover screen and we have many of these animations, these aesthetics. Do you have any opinion on it? Do you like it? Do you think it's cool? Do you think it's appealing? Do you think it adds to the community and to the project that the way that we're doing this project? For example, having these cover images. Do you think it's helpful also to have the check boxes in here? I would like to learn more and to know what you think about this, all these graphics and all these things that I have been using, because it's changed a bit. I was on the covers before of the videos. Now it's more about this illustration that is also me, but a bit more abstract, and like a summary of the contents of the video. Yeah, it would be good to see something with React.js, Vue.js, and GraphQL. What would you like to see? What would you be interested in seeing? I'm gonna build something with React, and when you say Vue.js, React and Vue are kind of opposite, so you wouldn't probably use both of them in the same application. Are you meaning that you would like to see React and then apart from that see Vue tutorials? I have experience with both, so we could get to do something with that really soon. And let me remove that animation actually. All right, so cool. Interactive web interfaces. Personally, I prefer bright background. Blue with black text is blending a bit. Bright background. Blue with black text is blending a bit. All right, yeah, I see. So you mean that the aesthetics of this is a bit, it blends a bit and you don't really see it? Yeah, I'm not sold on any color. So if you go, for example, to the live stream playlist, you can see there is a bit of everything, so it's all around. But I just meant the main aesthetics of these covers and the typeface and all that stuff. All right, cool, great. All right, so one thing that I've done, let me see if I have it here. I think I have it on my other machine. I have an application built with Vue.js. Yeah, I have it on my other machine, so maybe that's something that we can add here for later. So workflows, we could add here thumbnail generator. Vue app. Yeah, I'm building a thumbnail generator to automate thumbnail generation with a DOM to image. That is a really awesome library. it generates an image from HTML5 canvas from DOM elements, and it's really, really powerful. Okay, so have you experimented with graph neural networks? I haven't actually. I've read and I've seen some of it. I like it, it's cute graphics. Okay, yeah, so I haven't experimented with graph neural networks. That's something that probably we could take a look at, graph neural networks. And one thing that was raised on YouTube comment and also on the channel, on the Discord machine learning channel, is this intent from Kashif Dafedar to convert to run, execute a pix-to-pix model in C#, right? And I also have the interest on using a pix-to-pix model in TensorFlow.js or in other environments by converting it, right? And my proposal was to use the latest version of TensorFlow to train and then to convert, because usually the latest converter might not work if you've trained the model with old versions of TensorFlow. And we have a live stream that is fully blocked by me trying to debug a pix-to-pix model and then figuring out it's just a version mismatch after 2 hours, which, it's great. Great things happen. I love the graphics. So Sujay Kumarji says, I love the graphics. Let me open this here so you guys can see as I talk. Oops. I love the graphics. It's simple and to the point. Also knowing the topics to expect before I sit in for the stream. Okay, yeah. So the topics are never 100% sold, but I tried to do that. I'm trying to be better at planning and not make you guys waste your time if I'm gonna cover something that you're not interested in. But not completely sold on anything specific anytime. Okay, announcements, runway. So we covered live stream 13. Yeah, okay, so I actually so Major asked a question about what am I working on my day job, and I cannot actually do that, and I would like to not merge things. So here I'm only commenting and talking about my personal projects and things that are agnostic of application directly. So yeah, that's something that I don't think we can talk about here. We will though be talking more publicly about some of the things that we do pretty soon that we're doing in our team. But yeah, so the views here, everything that I do with the live stream and with the podcast is kind of my own personal projects on my own time, and it's a bit disconnected from that work. But yeah, no, that's good. No worries. All right, so Laravel and Blotter, we talked about this before. Pix-to-pix, we've seen a lot of pix-to-pix. There is that pix-to-pix application that you can run in pix-to-pix.glitch.com, I think. Maybe not. Maybe .me. Yeah, so this is drawing app that won't really do anything now because we don't have runway running. But if you have runway running here, you would see the output of the model, and you can, it's an experiment that I did with Nate Peters. Yes. Data set preparation. So we also learned how to use some of the things to prepare data sets. Oh, we took the look at cinema, so something that I'm also meant to record or like to edit a video. All right, so maybe that's something that we could do. Identify videos to edit. So videos to edit. Live. What is this? 16. As cinema. Or maybe this way. What else? What else do we have there? So we talked about getting simple pointers, teachable machine. Maybe a summary on teachable machine could be good. DigitalOcean, publishing to Runway. Publishing to Runway. I don't really know if that exists there or not. Yeah, we have this kind of joke video on the Pix to Pix, 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 Pix to Pix. Pix to Pix, 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 Pix. Which, you know, if you're interested, this is something that it's really easy to do with this script. So with the tool that I use to edit the podcast and the live streams. Okay, we didn't get to do this too. Stallion hallucinating no sketches. Maybe we can crop a video of me explaining this part as well. So live 18, hallucinating sketches. And yeah, and today we did live 26. We actually did Figlet. We also did Nono.MA redirects, redirect route. We also explained, what else did we explain? Code styles and formatters, code styles, formatters, and linters. What else? Add models to Runway. I have a ton of tutorials that I've recorded on previous live streams that I don't know who's gonna help me edit all of that. It's pretty intense. Yeah, we have all the DigitalOcean tutorials that it's on one live stream, but could be split as well. And sketch detector. All right, so I'm gonna take a really quick break. We've covered, so I'm gonna put this, I'm gonna mute my screen, let's say. I'm going to I'm gonna check the things that we've done today. In here, so we can now get back at the screen. So I think you've seen this before. We've done so far this live recap and this workflows, and I'm going to mark this even though we haven't done it yet, but I'm gonna do it after the break. So we're gonna cover the ML5 JS part. So we're gonna take a look at that as well today. And I'm going to export this. Oh, not that, this. All right. I'm going to change the thumbnail of this because we've already covered. And, you know, a reminder, it really helps. I'm trying to see how to attract a bit more people to the channel. And if you want to support the channel and the work that I'm doing here, please just click on like on the video. It really means a lot. And I would be really thankful. I mean, that's all. I'm not asking for more. That's really good help. I mean, we don't really have any sponsors yet or anything, either on the podcast or here, and I'm not pursuing that yet. But I might get some in the future, and maybe that helps also pay a bit of the editing costs and maybe make the project a bit better if I can get a bit more gear. All right, so I'm changing here the thumbnail. All right, yeah, so that should be changed really soon, and we can close this now. Cool, close a bit more. All right, this is great. Cool, so let me see. Okay, great. So let me go take a really quick break, and we'll be back super soon. See you in a second. So one quick thing before I go on break. You have the chat there. Let me know any thoughts, any suggestions, any comments, or if you have any more questions for the second part of today's live stream. See you soon. All right. Let's see. I'm back. So let me see 1 second. All right. Okay, so we're back here, and thanks for holding on. We're gonna continue. So the last section of today is ML5JS. We're going to take a look at that. Let me see, I have a cover slide for that, and we can record just in case that Hello, Lourdes. I can see that you're online. All right, so let's record a cover screen for this video. Hi everyone, it's Nono here, and this is an overview on ML5.js. It's a library that makes it a lot easier for us to use machine learning algorithms on the web. Right, let's take a look. Let's code. All right, so ML5.js, you can just Google ML5.js on Google. You have ml5js.org, and this is described even directly here. It's friendly machine learning for the web. Who's behind this? At least from people that I have met: Cristobal Valenzuela, Daniel Schiffman, Jining, I think. I don't remember exactly, but there is a lot of people that are developing this and are contributing, right? So there are a lot of projects from the community that you can see here, and it's worth going and taking a look. So for example, Alejandro Matamala Ororiz is one of the co-founders of Runway ML. Daniel Schiffman has a lot of projects here, and Jining Shi has done a lot of work on style transfer and pix-to-pix. Really cool. Simple example based on Google's teachable machine project. Yeah, Cristobal Valenzuela has some projects here. So yeah, there are a lot of projects by the community. But first, we have here ML5.js. It's a JavaScript library that makes machine learning a bit more friendly for the web, because as we all know, machine learning can be daunting and it's a bit challenging to get started. A neighborly approach to creating and exploring artificial intelligence in the browser. All right, let's take a look. So if we scroll down, if we get started, where do we go? All right, so let's first take a look at the website itself, how to get started with ML5. Why ML5? ML5.js aims to make machine learning approachable for a broad audience of artists, creative coders, and students. I think we fit the profile pretty well. The library provides access to machine learning algorithms and models in the browser, building on top of TensorFlow.js with no other external dependencies. ML5.js on top of TensorFlow. TensorFlow.js and ML5.js are open source friendly high-level interface to TensorFlow.js, a library for handling GPU accelerated mathematical operations and memory management for machine learning algorithms. Immediate access in the browser to pre-trained models to detect human poses, generating text, styling an image with another, composing music, pitch detection, and common English language word relationships, and much more. Support broader public understanding of machine learning, foster deeper engagement with ethical computing, responsible data collection, and accessibility and diversity of people and perspectives in technology and in the arts. It provides an approachable API and examples to help you get started. It's up to version 0.6.1 so far. And, here's how to create a simple classifier. All right, so before we continue, I'm going to share, so because I don't think I tweeted anything here. So I'm going to publicly tweet. I have to log in. I'm going to, sometimes I sign out, so I don't have easy access to Twitter. It's a bit distracting. So I'm going to sign up here. Authentication codes. Hi. All right, so we have a Twitter here. All right. Great. And we're gonna tweet live. What do we put here? So we can use this Ah. Live now live now, taking a beginner's look at ml5.js. Is there a Twitter account? Yes. Red circle. So this is a Nono.MA live.26 camera, right? All right, here we are. Cool. Live now. All right, tweet. Boom. Cool. All right, so that's that. And let's just run a simple example. So first thing is, where are we gonna run this? Easiest thing is always to run something on Glitch, so we don't have to create anything locally. And if that's gonna make it easier for you as well, I'm gonna use Glitch. I'm not gonna use Laravel or any other local thing right now, because that would make it more complicated for everyone. So we're gonna use Glitch, and the first thing we can do is, there are gonna be ML5.js examples there for sure. Test with ML5.js, and maybe if we put ML5.js, ML5, your very own basic web page ready for you to customize. Maybe. ML5.js. Not sure if this is really a project that's using ML5.js. Maybe it is. Well, nothing really. So we're just gonna create a new project. So hello web page. And we're gonna zoom in a bit here so you can see. I'm gonna verify that you can all see me properly and see the website. Yeah. All right, cool. So let's see if ML5.js is on a CDN that we can get. ML5. Okay, let's see how they propose you to use it. Getting started. So if we can take a look at this example. So what's happening here is that we create a classifier with image classifier. We create a classifier that's using a pre-trained MobileNet model. We select the image, we predict, and then we show the results. So we're gonna go to getting started, and here is the CDN that we can use directly. So we could use a specific version, but we're just gonna copy this and put it into our script area on the head of our site. So right now our site only has a README, indexed HTML, a JavaScript file, and a CSS style sheet. And the only thing we need to do to have ML5 is just to save this here. Well, it auto saves, but we could show this side by side on a new window. And now here we have this, right? So it's loading what seems to be a minified version of ML5.js, which as far as I can see, it might contain TensorFlow.js bundled up in there because it seems pretty big for what this is. And the first thing we can do is press Command Alt J and take a look at this. So we have some rainbow magic here, probably from Dan and all these people. And WebGL backend was already registered, CPU backend was already registered, platform browser has already been set. All right, so we have, please read our community statement to ensure that the use of this software reflects the values of the ML5 community. All right. Let's look at the statement. I mean, oh, okay, adapted from there. Adapted, we are a community. We acknowledge that everyone has the time for we like these hashtags. No code snobs. New kid love because we are unassumed core. Black Lives Matter because, of course, in practice, we're not code snobs. We don't assume knowledge or imply there are things that somebody should know. Yep. We insist on actively engaging with requests for feedback regardless of complexity. Yeah, we welcome newcomers and prioritize. We strive all the tasks. Yeah, we consider. Yeah. All right. Yeah, we just did this, so that's good. Website design with love by develop using awesome. Great. So yeah, this project was funded by a Google Education grant at NYU, and yeah, so that we can read more of that. All right, so we have this here. This is great. We have it working. So we go here. We have ML5.js, right? So we can do ML5, and we can print it, and that exists. If you go to any browser tab and you put here ML5, ML5 doesn't exist. But in our web tab, it's defined, and we have sketchrn. We have many different JavaScript libraries, and including YOLO, Pix2Pix. So it's great. We have a lot of stuff for free here. All right, so this means we could run Pix2Pix models on the browser. And what we're gonna do right now is just try to run a really simple example. So the first thing I'm gonna put this here and maybe show this side by side. And so I like to put the dates here. So this is live 26, and this is live. So this date. So we have that here, and the glitch button. Maybe so that's this one, right? To let other people edit the thing, and we put here ML5.js. And can we rename this? I probably not available, right? All right, so that's our project name now. We have that here on the style. We probably don't need this color. And we don't need it to be italic for now. Font family, we're gonna use system UI. Cool. All right, so that's San Francisco. right there, right? System UI. And now what we're gonna try to do, we're gonna go to the script. We're gonna, instead of doing this, we're gonna do here ML5 just to make sure that everything is working. So we can see this, we're printing, and that works. And we could, I don't know, we could do many things, but for now we're just gonna try to run an example here. Latest version. Let me open this a bit bigger so you can see with me. ML5 version. So we could do that. So we could print ML5 version. I'm not sure if we have a console logs. Cool. Right. So this is the logs, but what about the debugger? Terminal. What is the terminal here? Oh wow! So we actually can use the terminal here. I didn't really know. So you have the terminal here, and I can do these things. Oh wow, cool! That's really nice. Okay, but for now, we can just use this thing. We're gonna put it at the bottom. If you can maybe see, maybe not the best. So maybe here, and we're going to reload. All right. So if I if I show this side by side, okay, so this is the version of the of ML5.js, and that means this works. And we're just gonna see a simple example, powered with P5.js. Wait, but open your console, loaded properly. You should see the latest version. Yeah, so this creates a canvas, but that doesn't really give us anything else, right? Either way, let's copy this code. Let's try. Oh wow. Okay, so this seems like a fully fledged debugger. This is our website. All right, so we're following this example, and I'm just going to, the only thing we need to do now is copy P5. So this is, let me just copy this. I like the comments. So we have this here. Maybe we don't need this. Let's close that. And we're gonna put these things here. So we have P5 and this, and now we have a canvas here, which doesn't do anything more than color the gray color. We could put black or RGB, green. All right, so we have that, and let's see what is our debugging. What is this debugger doing? App glitch. Yeah, probably this debugger is not doing what I thought it would be doing. It's for WebSockets. Okay, so we're here. This is P5.js, and we're just logging on the version, contribute, blah, 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 introduction. Agenda introduction to ML5. Pre-trained model called MobileNet, the setup, blah, 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 and the demo. and it's recognizing that. So for the code here, it seems like we just need the image to preload, which is, it's an image that is going to be rendered on draw probably, right? We're drawing the image on the canvas, so on the P5.js canvas. And let me see if I can actually load it remotely. So this is a canvas, Turus Migratorus, save image. Let's just try to save this one to test. Bird. All right. So I could probably on assets, I could upload something, right? So we upload this image and we have that. Let's see if we can preload that image. So function preload, and if we look in here, that preload is image load image. So image load image, and then we have images birds, but I don't know if that's assets birds. Maybe. Haven't used P5.js for a bit. So that doesn't seem like it's working. Maybe just bird. Error. Glitch me bird. So assets bird. Not found. All right, so how does this work? So all right, so we're gonna put our let classifier and let image. So this application is at Nono.MA /glitch.me assets bird.png. Not found. Not found. Images. Not found. How to load. Hi, I can see Ricardo Cesar Rodriguez is connecting from Brazil. Nice to see you around. What time is it there? Probably -6. Yeah. No. -5. Yep. Right. So let me see. Load images, assets, glitch. I don't know why that doesn't load. How are the assets being served here? Assets lib. Well, let me see if I would be able to load an image from here. Hmm. All right. So it seems like we are loading the image here. So P5 image resize, right? Okay. Cool. Okay, so we're loading an image. Let's make maybe this canvas a bit smaller. Okay, and maybe now we can, but yeah, I would like to see how to load the thing with the assets. View source. Right. Okay, so this is required assets. Use assets. Why do we need to use Express for this? Assets.js allow you to use relative path to serve your assets on glitch, replacing this with this. This seems like a lot of overhead. So maybe, just maybe, we just go with what we have. So, okay, bird. This one. Okay, so I'm going to upload one of these images. So I'm going to maybe crop this, save as. Oh, just this one, right? All right, so we have a square image. Cool, and let's see if I have ngrok. Maybe don't, but I'm going to install it. So ngrok allows me to create what's called an HTTP tunnel. So it would expose publicly on the web this folder or whatever folder I choose to, well, it just exposes a port. So I'm going to have to make a HTTP server separately, right? Yeah, so I'm just going to serve this this folder that right now is accessible through here on my computer, right? And we can access this image. Now with ngrok, we'll get a global URL that anyone can access. So I can do ngrok HTTP port 8080, I think. Let's see if this works. No. HTTP. Okay, ngrok HTTP 8080. So now we get a reverse proxy and we can access this image from anywhere. All right, so now this is a publicly available image. We can hide this for a second, put this image in here, and now that should work. Maybe. It seems like you cannot get it. The page. Right, let's just put an HTTPS. Does that work? Has been blown by core no access control, allow origin headers present in the requested resource. Right. Ngrok. Great, let's see if this works now. Right. Doesn't work. All right, so I'm simply going to go and upload that to my website. The Ngrok thing failed. And I'm just gonna put this to remove later, and that's it. So this works because it's online. So cool. Okay, all right. It works. Cool. So now that this is working, we can continue with what we were doing, which is we're gonna go here and we're also gonna load the model. So we're gonna do so because we're writing code here, let me go to the right and zoom in a bit, and we're gonna expect that nothing fails. So we're gonna put this in here. What is better? Maybe I can stay here and make this like that. Cool. And maybe I can even drag myself a bit in here. So we have this thing, and what we need to do is define the classifier as an ML5 classifier, image classifier, right? Image classifier. And we have now two arguments, the model type and that's it, the model name. So we're gonna use MobileNet. And the canvas, we classify the image on setup. So classifier.classify, classifier.classify, and then we pass a callback, right? So we put this image and then got result, which we don't have, so that will fail. And on the draw function, we just don't put anything, so maybe we just put an empty function. And now we define the got result function, which we can do as follows: got result, and now display errors results, error results. And instead of doing what this code example is doing, I'm gonna put here another paragraph, which the class is gonna be status, and this is empty for now. And what we're gonna do is that when we get a result, we're going to let our label be document get elements by class name. So we get JS, we're gonna change that to label, and the first one, and we're gonna say label dot inner HTML equals we got results party. All right, and that doesn't exist until I change this to label. And now that doesn't work yet. We got results. Whoa, all right. So we're getting results, but we're not displaying them. So display error in the console. So if there is an error, we're just gonna console log the error. But if there are no errors, we're going to set our label. And that's probably gonna happen now. All right, so maybe, just maybe, because it seems like it takes a bit to do this, we're gonna make a function that is set label, and we're gonna put here new label, and or just maybe just put here value, and we're going to put this inside here, and this is just gonna be value, and here we're just gonna put set label we got results, because now we can use this before classifying, and we can say here classifying, and we can put this properly, and now we're classifying, and we got results. All right, so what are we doing here? So now we need to load that. So console log results, create div. So we have results 0, the first result. So at least we can get the label. So we can say set label to results 0.label. And indigo, bunting, blah, blah, blah. All right, great. So what we can do is maybe put the placeholder text as loading. So we can put here loading. And now we get the status of loading, classifying, and then classified, right? The other thing that we get here is confidence. Confidence, NF. What is NF? I don't know NF. NF. P5. P5. NF. Utility function for formatting numbers into strings. There are two versions. One for formatting floats and one for formatting ints. The values for the digits left and right parameters should always be positive integers. Be cautious when using left and right parameters, as it prepends numbers of zeros if the value is greater the current length of the number. All right. Sounds good. This is just to format the numbers. We can use the same that they're using, so we can get the confidence. Well, we'll do the raw confidence first. And we'll do label, for instance, we could do, and confidence. Without formatting, we're gonna put 2 breaking spaces. All right, so now this is classifying, and we get the confidence and this value. So if we use this NF, we can put here 0 and 2, and then probably we just get 2 floating number values, so 0.64, right? And what we can do after we do that, we could actually just multiply by 100 and put here a %sign. All right, 64%. Great. So, this is the first example that we can do with ML5. It's classifying an image in the browser, so it's pretty cool. And the thing that we could do now, we could maybe get another image. Maybe this one, something that is more square. All right, so Nono.MA upload. We put here tiger, and we put that there. Huh. All right, to loading. I don't know why that happened. Window screen. All right. Now we're getting our tiger. Panthera tigris. All right, so this is MobileNet, so it's working right out of the box. It's the introduction for people who don't know anything about machine learning. You can just use a few functions in JavaScript and get some classification here, which is pretty cool. So we'll also add this to the only problem that I see is that these images, if I delete them, they're not gonna be okay. Sample online MobileNet images. Daniel Schiffman. All right, so okay, so REST API sample dataset images CFAR, for example. Let's see. That's cool. All right, so which one? ID image. So if we get 256 by 256, all right, so we just need this. All right, let's try that one. So if we put this one here, and piggy bank. Maybe not. Photos. All right. Yeah, so pick some photos. Pick some. Where can we, powered by DigitalOcean Cloudflare, where can we, yeah, I'm not sure how we can get images of, whatever. Okay, so I'll leave it with that. I don't know if I can get a tiger photo from here, for instance. Lauren Ibsen. Lauren Fricker. Dog. Okay, this might be good. Okay, so we can get this one and put that here. And maybe put tiger 256 by 256. Okay, let's see if this works. Lauren Flicker. That doesn't work. All right, I'm just gonna get a an URL from here, and this will break, but it's okay. Cool. And it tells us that it's a tiger, pantera, tigris. So tiger. So okay, that makes it for today, I think. So this is live 26, and I'm going to put this on Discord. Thanks a lot for everyone who joined. And it's a first introduction to ML5.js. I mean, it's not a super advanced day, but that's what we got up to. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna link to this, so ml5js.glitch.me. Guess like we have that or not. All right. And you know, the image is a bit deformed, but who cares right now? All right, so ML5JS sample, so image classification glitch app. Cool. And that's that for today. As I said, we've covered all of the different things that I mentioned that we were gonna cover today. And I hope that was useful. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad that I'm back because we missed 1 week. We've sort of done this full review of everything that we've seen. There's been a bit of StyleGAN, Runway ML, and object detection over the last weeks, and hopefully we can get back at updating this document a bit more often. So this has been Blue Day, and that's it. Close stuff. And something that I might do that I never do, that I say that I want to do, is scheduling the next week's live stream. I'm gonna take a look at my calendar and see for next week what's going on. All right, so okay, yeah, so maybe I can schedule for the same time, which is 7 p.m. my time. That might work. Right, so we'll reuse the settings. This is live 27 for April 15th at 7 p.m. All right, and that's it. I mean, we need a new cover. maybe I guess it's something we could also do now. 527. And seriously, I don't really know about colors. I don't know what I'm doing with the colors, but it's just ever changing. I am tempted to leave it like this for next week, like with the same colors, because there is nothing really that different that we're gonna do. We could maybe leave it with the similar structure. So maybe we also do ML5JS. I'm not sure what other topics we'll do. So we'll leave it at not done. All right. And yeah, we can. I guess we can change the colors later as well if that needs to be. But for me now, at least we can, we can schedule it and we can change the thumbnail here. Create. And I don't know, I believe that's public, right? Yeah, public. So maybe I don't want to make it public just yet, to announce it a bit later. Yeah, but same time than today, next week. The image didn't change, of course. All right. So this will tell me when it's saved. Change saved. All right. So that should be good. Okay, so that's it for today. Let's go here. Let's code. No more break. All right, so we check the thumbnails and we schedule next live. So those are my reminders to myself to make sure that I don't have to do that next week. And last reminder, it really helps to support the channel and the work that I'm doing here and that we're all doing in the community. If you like this video, thanks a lot for doing that. I would really appreciate it. And subscribe if you want to get notified when I upload new content or when I go live next. Also join us on the Discord community. You have an invite at Nono.MA/Discord. You might already be there, so that's great. And yeah, that's it. Without further ado, I want to say that thanks so much for watching, and that I'll see you next time. It's been fun. As I said before, I had fun today, and I hope you did too. Point out to me on the comments or on the chat or on the Discord community what you liked, what you didn't like, what you would like to see, and any feedback or any comments that you might have. Thanks a lot again, and I'll hopefully see you next week. Bye.